Hey ladies, happy Friday. Wanted to send a video again because this is much easier than sending again a very long email because our next decision now is pricing. So just to give you a couple quick updates. First, thank you so much for trusting in me about the staging. It looks phenomenal. Like really, really happy with it. We did videography today and we did photography today. So that should be released this weekend. And because of where we are in these final stages, we really would like to put it onto the market in a coming soon status so that it can go live Thursday. We'll do some open houses that first weekend, and in theory, put enough momentum around it where we're capturing at least 1 to 2 offers that first weekend live. We only need one really good one, right? But in theory, we want to use the marketing and our pricing strategy to capture multiple offers so we can bid them against each other to get favorable terms and a higher price at the end of the day. And I've talked to a few sisters about this, but the methodology between that is usually you want to price just a little bit lower than what you think you would come out of the gate priced as. Reason being, you'll capture more of a market. With these interest rates rising and they went back up again, they're in like the high sixes, which really sucks for luxury properties. Um, these interest rates, they were lower a month ago. And I have a lot of buyers that are not feeling it. But what I've noticed is that if someone loves a house, they're much more willing to spend more money than what their budget was versus someone that has a higher budget and being willing to compromise on what they're looking at. For instance, if we know that someone is looking to keep their price point below 500,000, and then there's another buyer that can afford, let's say 575, and say we price it 530 or 540, that 500 below may not even consider this house because that in this example, because it's out of their price point. But if it was at like 495 or 500 even, they might be willing to spend a little bit more money. Where someone that can go up to 575 might put in an offer for 500, but they're not really more likely willing to spend more because they really want that extra bedroom or they know they can afford more. Um, this tactic has worked flawlessly for me and for my team. So I would like to deploy a similar tactic to our listing. I'm going to share my screen with you to give you an idea of what comps I'm looking at. So that way we can determine together what price we want to come in at. And I'll let you know what I'm thinking on my head. And then you guys just tell me yay or nay on our email. So really quick, I'm going to show you my screen here. I'm just putting that email together. Let's see. I can't see my little screen. I'll disregard that email. Okay. So these are 4 different properties that have sold in Shipley's Choice specifically this year. Now our property is the only property I've found that sold in the last year that's 3 bedrooms and not 4. So that's just something to consider. However, the comps are pretty similar, whether they're 2.5 bathrooms or just over 2,500 square feet. I think ours was like 26 and change or 27 and change. So definitely over 2,500, which is great. Attached garage. Some of them were unfinished basements, some of them were finished. But let me just tell you where I'm looking. So this one right here was sold this past September for $825. And if you want to look at the pictures to get an idea of the condition, you can see these cherry cabinets, hardwood flooring throughout. That is a massive difference for what someone's willing to pay for a home. It's much more expensive to have hardwood flooring throughout where we have LVT and carpet, so it's a little bit cheaper. This bathroom is much more updated. Now, our bathrooms are beautiful in my opinion. I know this is like just probably in the last 2 years, I would say, just to give you an idea, of how much more updated. But it's carpet in the bedrooms. This basement is finished right here with LVT flooring, so that's going to be a definite sell. And then this is a brand new deck. This is composite decking, which is more expensive than normal wood. And it's a very large deck with a decent backyard, where ours is more wooded, not as much surface area. Um, and that again sold for $825, and that's a 4 bedroom, 2.5. Then we have this one. This sold for $723 in last day of July, also a 4 bedroom and an extra full bathroom. It's a 3.5. However, it's not as updated. So that entryway flooring was similar to our entryway flooring, but it does have hardwood floors throughout. Obviously, our entryway flooring is now LVT. This kitchen is not updated. It's clean. It's not old, but it's not as updated, as nice as yours. You know, there's some carpet on the main level. You know, this is just, it gives an outdated feel, the banner on the wallpaper. Let's see, that's like definitely more outdated. The bathrooms are more outdated for sure. I believe this wasn't a finished basement. Was it half finished? Okay, so it's partially finished basement. So they've got LVT flooring on part of it. Normal wood for their deck. And this is the other part that, oh, this is the garage. Okay, this is what it was. And that one sold for 723. So that comp does throw me a little bit, I will say. You know, not because it definitely is outdated, but just because it is a little bit like definitely lower than I would want you guys to get for this property. And then the question is, okay, where it has another full bed and a full bath, even though it's outdated, how much more would it cost for somebody to replace all those things? How much did we spend in the grand scheme? And we have a 3rd bedroom instead and only 2 full baths instead. So just some considerations, and not a finished basement, and they have a finished basement. This one sold for $795 in October. 4 beds, again, 3.5 bath. Now this is fully remodeled, really stunning. What you would consider almost like a chef's kitchen. If it had that extra sink, I would. I don't, because it doesn't have the extra sink, but tons of storage space. Really pretty. This is actually LVT plank flooring. Really updated, very pretty, much more modern, these bathrooms, hardwood in the bedrooms. And I'll share these links with you guys so you can see it. Full finished basement, that's huge. A huge deck, great shape. So that, and a little bit more of a backyard again. And that sold for $795. So this last one is a 4 2.5 at 660. Now this is a lot lower than what we're looking at, but this is what an appraiser would pull up. So it's just kind of something to consider. This is massively more outdated. It just has that extra bedroom. It has hardwood flooring in parts of the house. Much larger surface area as far as like that sunroom is a lot larger. I think the square footage on this one was bigger too. No, actually it's less. Okay, that makes me feel better. Fully finished basement. And it is a corner lot. Actually, is this one? Yeah, corner lots are valued more for appraisers. But that one was 660 and that one sold earlier in the year. So this makes me feel better that I said you're looking at like, you know, later in the year they sold for more. But still earlier in the year, the interest rates were worse like they are now. So this is just a massive consideration. I'm going to highly suggest that we come into the market based on these comps, maybe around, like I really want to say 785, but because of this 795 and how much more updated this is the one again, it's a 4 bedroom, 3.5 bath with that fully remodeled. I mean, they got a steal for this, in my opinion, but it is a huge appraiser consideration. So I would say coming into the market at 775, it'll capture people that can afford up to 70, 75. Might be willing to spend a little bit more if they really love it. Obviously, these houses are few far in between that really do come available in Shipley's Choice, in this area in general, especially around this time of year. And then also, you know, if people can afford more, I believe that, you know, from a space consideration, as long as they don't need that 4th bedroom, they would, in theory, be able to pay it or be willing to pay 775. The only other factor that I'm really considering that we might have to talk about a price reduction if we do not bring an offer in on that first weekend, is election season. So November and December historically dies every election year, and then it gets busier the following year. The last 8 election cycles, all the data showed that. So just another consideration for, traffic. I wouldn't expect to get a ton of offers. I would love to say we just need two. Um, just to say like if we can use that tactic and deploy that, we will. Um, but let me know what you're thinking. I will link these in our email, and I really just appreciate your time. I hope everybody has a good weekend. You are absolutely welcome to call me. We can jump on a group Zoom if you would like tonight or Saturday, Sunday, whenever. Um, but I will send this out to you guys now. Thank you.